Oh, it's so good. I just got it done, so we're gonna be baking one sleeved today. Hi. Well, hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hope we're doing well. I made some protein Mantecaditos this morning, but they needed a little tweaking. And so I figured, since I'm gonna send some out to some of my VIP taste testers, I thought to myself, let's go ahead, tweak the recipe and try to make it again tonight. And then that way they can set overnight. And then I can take them to the mail tomorrow and priority ship some goodies out to some to some taste testers, to some of my VIP taste testers. So we're gonna make another batch of protein mantecaditos, which are almond sprinkle cookies that I grew up eating in Puerto Rico. You get to see my tan. Okay, so I have my little recipe here. Great. Let's put these babies, actually, can you see them? Let's leave them there because you can see them there for now. We'll leave them there for now. Okay. Get rid of that hair. Okay, so now we're gonna weigh out the rest of our ingredients. So So, and oh, well, I just got a tattoo this afternoon, so that's why I don't have this shoulder on. I don't usually bake with one shoulder on, but it's just because I just got this done. Okay, so let's get started. So we have 160 grams, which should be 160 grams of butter that's been sitting out to soften. Great, 160 grams. Now we need 75 grams of our almond butter. So 75. All right, 75. Great. Now we're gonna set this aside for a minute because when I made the cookies this morning, I ended up adding the protein powder in with the dry mix, and the cookies ended up being, they came out good, but they're just like a tiny bit dry, which with the protein powder, you have to like do a little bit of extra science. So for this version, what we're doing is taking the protein powder and we're gonna take 45 grams. Ooh, almost 45. 45. Okay. Now put this away. Okay, so we have 45 grams. Now we're gonna add 30 to 35. So we're gonna call that, we're gonna call that 35. 35 grams of our heavy cream. Okay. We need 35. Great. Now we're going to take some honey. We're going to put some honey in here. Okay, so now we're gonna take this and we're gonna mix it together so that it hydrates. Oh, you guys can't see, sorry. You guys can't see, I'm so sorry. Okay, so mix these up. I think this needs a tiny bit more cream. So let's bump this up 5 more grams. Six, 67. Actually, let's just bring it up to 70. Let's try that. Let's do 10 more because it's still looking dry. So that's plus 20. Nope, still dry. Plus 30. There we go. It's a little better. All right. This looks better because we want it to be soft, almost pudding-like, which we're a lot closer to that now. So I'm gonna let this sit. We're gonna let that sit and hydrate. We might add a tiny bit more cream to it, but so far, let me write that down. So far we added an extra 30 grams plus 30 to hydrate protein powder out of powder stage. Okay, now okay, now we need 60 grams of sugar. Let's grab this. Okay, we have light brown sugar, $60 grams. Okay, 60. Now, let's take a look at our protein powder. It's looking way more hydrated. Good. It's a little smooth. Not necessarily, well, it's getting closer to pudding-like consistency, for sure. Way more pudding-like than we were before. Okay, we're gonna, I think this is good. I think that's a good stage. Okay, because the call was pudding. Okay, so now we're going to add the sugar here, and we're gonna set this aside. And now we need, for our dry mix, okay, so we already have our butter, our almond butter, our honey, our sugar, our protein powder, our heavy cream. Now we need vanilla extract. Oh, I have it right here. Okay, let's see. Vanilla extract, half a teaspoon. We're gonna call that 1 teaspoon because I think it could use 1 teaspoon. I think it could use a little bit more. 1 teaspoon. Okay. Vanilla extract. 1 teaspoon. Great. And then almond extract, it calls for 2. We're going to call that 2.5. Okay. Okay, and that's our almond extract. Okay, great. We're going to set that aside. And now we need steak. Stir. Okay, so now we need We need 245 grams of all-purpose flour. So we're using King Arthur all-purpose flour, 245 grams. We have 231 in the bag, so I'm going to open up a new bag, which, yay. great. Now, almond flour, 60 grams. Okay, 60 grams. And now we need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and I'm gonna put this away. Okay, so now mix our dry together. Okay. Now we're gonna set that aside. We're gonna put these babies aside. We're adding our almond extract and our vanilla extract. Now we're gonna add our protein mix, which is the protein powder, some heavy cream, and honey. And so we're gonna add this to our mix. Okay. Okay, great. This already looks much better than this morning's dough. And now needs to sit in the fridge for a while and set. So let's do that. So hi, this has been a little bit of a quiet bake and hang. I'm MeMeCherry. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, hi, I like to go live and bake. Sometimes I work on other little crafty projects. I also have a podcast. But lately I've been really digging going live and baking. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm also in the research phase of starting a micro bakery. So, which this would be one of the potential products. High protein little snackies for pre or post gym vibes. But this is feeling really cute. This feels way more like a Mantecadito dough. So she needs to sit in the fridge for about 20 minutes. And then we'll pull her out and portion her out. And then dip her in sprinkles. And they'll be little this time. So earlier today, I was using a mold for the little hearts. And they were cute, but it was very labor intensive, and for the sake of scaling and making things more safe for shipping, this version that we're going to do, we're going to go more the classic Mantecadito, which is like a rolled ball, and then you roll them in the sprinkles, and then you kind of put that onto the pan and bake it like that, and it bakes out like a classic thumb cookie, almost like a thumbprint cookie. That's also another Mantecadito. So let's put this baby in here. I might, more than likely, I'll fire up the live again to finish the cookies. So if you haven't hit subscribe, this is a perfect time to do so. I'm also slowly preparing for December, where I'm going to do what I'm calling bake. My God, I'm sorry. I'm going to be doing Bakemas in December. And so instead of Vlogmas, which is like the classic YouTube thing in December, I'm going to be doing Bakemas, which is I'm going to be going live every day in either baking or designing or planning or packaging or doing something baking related. So feel free to hit subscribe if you want to follow along for Bakemas, or if you want to follow along for the journey of me developing my micro bakery, little batch company. So I'll be back in about 20 minutes or so to finish round 2 of our sprinkle cookies. They are good. Hi, Kathleen. Thank you for saying hi. I'm so glad that you found me. So I'm trying to, these came out pretty good. They just came out a tiny bit dry, but the last version, I had the protein powder in with the dry mix. I didn't hydrate the protein powder. We did that this time, so I'm hoping that makes a difference. It already made a difference with the dough going into the fridge. It was a lot more moist. The dough that I had this morning was way crumblier, way crumblier. And then we're adding the heavy cream at the after part to kind of just hydrate it at the end. So this time we hydrated in the beginning, and I definitely feel like it made a difference. So I'm hoping that our final product that comes out of the oven later on tonight will be yummy, delicious almond sprinkle cookies that have protein bumps in them, but are also not dry, because these came out a tiny bit dry, even though, if I say so myself, they're good though. They're just a little dry. All right, I'm gonna go hang out with my dog. I'll be back. I'll hopefully see you guys later or tomorrow or another day. But if I don't see you again, I hope you have a wonderful life. Bye.